Today's episode was all about evaluating opportunities. I think
Yes.
when Vinney evaluated the opportunity, residential assisted living, and really dove into it, and you just heard what he said. He was giving his thesis on why a residential assisted living makes more sense than a big box. So
Yeah.
you guys got to create, we all do, create thesis on why we're investing in whatever we're going to invest. And then once you've done the thesis, it's not going to be perfect, but when you feel confident, you got to strike while the iron is hot, and that's what Vinney did.
Hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Vinny Chopra and Beau Eckstein. Brothers, two brothers from different mothers. And we have a Vinny and Beau show. If you are new to us, we come live to you. Well, not live now. We record a week before we broadcast 9 a.m. Pacific every Friday morning. And we talk about business. We talk about how we could grow business ourselves and also our followers, how they can also grow their businesses from, and pivot and change and use technology and all different kind of things. How are you, Bo? How are you, brother?
I am fantastic. It's another Friday. We're officially at
Yes.
the six month mark. We're already halfway done with the year.
Yes. It's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe. I know when we did the Crush 2024 challenge, and we provided one video every day to our followers, and I hope they got a lot out of it. And we interviewed some really top-notch people, and we were able to put them all. If anybody wants, guys, if you're watching us, we do have them archived if you would like to see how you could grow your business with the daily dose or things like that, we could give you the link to that. But you're right, half a year is done and stock market is in turmoil, real estate is in turmoil. There are no, interest rate cuts. Presidential debate last night happened, and oh my gosh, what's going to happen to USA?
It's actually kind of embarrassing. I mean, it's
It
not a
is.
kind of embarrassing. It's extremely embarrassing. Um,
Yes.
I I don't know. I definitely would
Yeah.
vote for Kennedy. I think because I don't.
Oh my
I think
gosh. I
he's.
mean, both the candidates up on the top yesterday, they were dismal. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the best we can have in our country. I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. It really is. And yeah,
Yeah.
and with what's going on in the economy, right? Like it'll
Mhm.
be interesting. The next 6 to 10 months is going to be interesting times.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think everybody's got to be ready for the unexpected.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
true.
There,
So true. So true, brother. I mean, the commercial real estate. I just was following Ken McElroy gave a presentation this week, and I was included in that. To watch him and everything. It was amazing what's happening. $1 trillion tsunami. The big fall is coming up to 2027. He said in the office space. I mean, lots of these loans are going to go red. They are already red. Foreclosures are happening left and right. $1 trillion. That just blew me away. And, I'm so glad that fortunately, Monil Investment Group, we have, it's hindsight is 2020, right? I've sold most of my assets. I sold Princeton Park last week, by the way, thank goodness. That one in Melbourne. Then I sold my Knoxville one 3 weeks, 4 weeks back, and just left with a couple of them now. And things like, it really giving me some breathing room, because otherwise cash calls are coming. I know one of my friend got 6 cash calls, in his different investments. I got 2 cash calls in my deals also, from my GP partners other than me. And it's pretty trying time. It really is.
I think you've done well in your career because for whatever reason you have a knack for timing. Okay, and timing. If you're not, if you don't plan on holding a property for 20 years, you need to be a little bit better to go in and out, right? You have to have that knack because long term, I think real estate's a great investment. But there's forces of nature that are coming that we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But as long as you have good debt and on your assets, and you should be fine. Uh, but it also brings up the point of today's conversation is evaluating opportunities as they come in, and that's what I'm doing. And there's a lot of business models that I'm interested in. I get excited looking at certain businesses, and then I'm like, do I really want to do this business? Do I really want to own this business? So, you know, I guess the question to you is when people present a lot of different business opportunities to you, they always are looking for investors, right? Like, how do you go about figuring out what businesses to jump on and what ones to squash, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Lots and lots of investors are being facing, because there is dry powder out there. Some people are getting money back from GPs, like in our case, we are sending $16 million or something like that, back to investors. But they're asking, hey, what do you have now? See, you got to be careful. You got to be really, really careful. Don't get into, somebody promises you 20%, 30%, things like that, or, even 10%. I think, you got to really see if it's too good to be true, it is then, you got to evaluate the sponsors. You have to evaluate the deal. Do you believe in the deal? Ask a lot of questions and look at their assumptions. All those things are very important. And that's what I would suggest. Again, look for different opportunities. I know you and I talked about RALs, residential assisted livings, where they are cash flowing and they will cash flow if you do it right, buy right, and operate right, right? It's a business and franchise business, like you have been suggesting, right? Yeah.
Whatever happened to that second RAL you were looking at in Arizona?
Oh, bought it, bought it in six hours, and it's becoming very good. It's got its license already there in place. Just got into contract. Looks like they have financing available, that they had assumable loan, I think they're telling me. So I will be looking into that. So that's fantastic. That's two in a month, brother, a month and a half, maybe. And I told my broker or a realtor, hey, we are good for 10 of those. So this is a very beautiful property. I showed it to Monica. It's beautiful. So that's going to be great. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's nice because then you're going to have eventually you'll have economies of scale because you'll have
Totally.
five,
Totally.
7, 10 of these
Yes.
residential
Yes.
assisted living, and then you can service all of them through your team because you can have floaters, and this way the nice thing is too is you'll always have work, so they'll stay with you, right? Because you're going to
You hit the
have
nail on the head. That's so
yeah.
true. Just like in multifamily, I was interviewed by Jeff Holes, Jeff and Gillian Sadati this week. They were saying, Vinny, you have taken a 180-degree turn. Here, a guy who went from single family homes into multifamily all the way, then into senior living, and now you're gone back to single family again. It's a circle. But the key thing is you got to pivot. You got to look at what's right, how the demographical shifts are happening, and you then look at where the cash flow is. That's what in my academy also on Wednesday we talked a lot about, with the changing of the interest rates being so high and the cash flow not being there in multifamily. Of course, Ken McElroy talked a lot about that. Next 2 years he'll be buying $1 billion worth of assets, which is good, but you got to see what you're buying, and you have staying power to pay that high mortgage and things like that. I like the RALs much more now because it's low hanging fruit. It's not too much money. And I just feel like I don't want to be on loans of 20 million and 30 million like I used to be. That's not a good solid things to do in this uncertain environment. Yes, I'm so happy that the 2 3 properties we got left, we got low loans, assumable loans and all that. But RALs makes so much sense because one bedroom, if you can rent one bedroom at 5,000 a month for the senior, assisted living and memory care, 5 to 7,000, then 10 bedroom can give you almost 50,000 per month revenue and 70%, expenses. You're still taking home about 10,000 a month net. Again, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a attorney. I'm just, sharing what my projections are saying. And you're getting me SPA loans. I love those 7A loans. Beautiful. Then you told me there is a 504 loan up to 19 million or something. And, that's a safe investment. See, you got to take debt, which is good debt. What's a good debt? Where you make cash flows, where you are not hunkering down and getting these loans where the property value is going down. In RALs, you buy the home like the one I'm buying now, 960,000, even less than 1.1 to 1350, whatever I bought the first one. This is even better location, better neighborhood, everything. And it's got a license already intact.
Amazing.
I just feel like, it's the positivity, not only that, sending the signals out and finding the right operators, right realtor, right rehabber, because I'm here in San Francisco area, and we took only 2 trips to Arizona, one last year, one this year. And I may take one more trip in 2 months or so when these facilities open up and everything. But you got to find the right, trustworthy partners. If you don't have partners, boots on the ground, you don't have anything. I say that, right? Within half an hour, I got the whole video of the whole house. I got the pictures, I got everything. It's turnkey, all that stuff. So it's good to. And then, Farooq was saying yesterday, he said, Vinny, you decide very fast. I said, that's the key thing. You got to make decisions based on all the good things, and you do research and research and research. And then don't be staying outside the field. You can't hit the ball when you're outside the field. I say that, right? You're spectator, but you got to be in the field, in the right field, and so forth. And you make decisions based on everything, the right decision. And what happens after that is you make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
So true, because you gotta fulfill the plan, right?
Mhm.
You gotta exercise the plan, and there's always variables that pop up on deals,
They
right? But
do. They do.
yeah,
Yeah.
but as long
You
as you
look.
know that and you have the staying power,
Yes,
right?
yes,
What's the
yes.
worst that's really going to happen?
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, people are selling in Arizona 3.8 million already RALs, which are 10 seniors in there, and they have built that business. It's constant income coming in, then it's 3.8 million. And here I'm buying things for 9.6, 960 or 1 million or like that. So hopefully in a year or two, hopefully I could also brag about and say, hey, we got great operation. Everything is looking good. And now it's worth double the money in a year or triple the money.
Yeah, and if you've got 10 of them at the end of the day in a
Yes,
couple of years, you can
yes,
sell that to a
yes.
bigger firm, right? That says,
You're right. Or leave it in legacy. See, the thing is, I'm just feeling that with the silver tsunami, the need for beds is 1.4 million right now. 4,000 seniors are turning 85 every night.
mm-hmm.
And in the assisted living and memory care, it's actually right so much demand in there. And as we people, we live longer and we grow younger. I always say not older. 85 to 104 years is the age in assisted livings. 85 to 104. And mostly 70% are women because they outlast the husband die before, and the women are left behind. So it's a great, and lots of families are liking RALs much better than the big box, because in big box it's 20 to 1 ratio of the caregiving. Your seniors get help, but it's 20 to 1 ratio. In RALs it's 4 or 5 seniors to one person in a very limited space of single family homes. So everything looks pretty strong. And lots of people are moving their parents from the big box RALs, residential assisted living centers, to smaller ones. So all those things, if you put the equation together, it just makes sense. As we know the market where it is, even I can get a loan at 11% for some of these, real estate assisted livings. But guess what? Still, it's cash flowing pretty darn good. Thanks to you, brother SPA. I think next week we're going to get the term sheet, right? Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be a loan commitment.
Oh, loan commitment. I love it. Love it. So
Yeah,
it's a total loan commitment. We'll go there, we'll retire the other loan and hunky dory, and we move forward. And it's prime plus one, which is pretty darn good. As next year, year after prime goes down, then the mortgage goes down, which is a, win-win situation. Right, I
yeah,
mean, interest rates cannot go higher than where they are right now. They will only go lower in the next 3 years. So this is the right time. That's what I feel. But you got to look at numbers, underwriting, all the assumptions. Make sure you get warranty. See, I mean, I just bought that house, right? Desert Cove. Air conditioning didn't work. What? Air conditioning. We just bought the home and the health department is coming. So we found out, we called the Home Shield and they came, zero charge, and they fixed it, whatever had needed to be done in that house. So it's very good that we take proper insurance, liability insurance and all that, and make the LLC. Property LLC should be separate. Management LLC should be separate, because in the business of RAL, assisted living, or even in franchise, I think it's real estate and business, real estate and business. So you got to limit the liabilities and put them in two separate things for each location. Don't worry about that. It's going to cost $400 more to make an LLC. That's okay. You don't want to make a blunder and then get sued for 100,000 or 200,000. Then you will say, crying, and then, hey, I didn't spend that $400 to make that separate thing, right?
yeah.
So
And then
that's
you're
how.
gonna have special insurance too, because you're running a
Yes.
residential. So you're covering yourself.
Oh,
And
I I covered. No, no, no. No, go ahead. Sorry. I covered in my academy this Wednesday. I did a whole research. 11 different insurances are available out there. DNO, directors and officers insurance, liability insurance, the umbrella policy insurance, of course, property insurance, loss of income insurance, cyber security insurance. So, and DNO, no, executive directors insurance, employee benefits insurance, all those things. So it's small premiums, but that's the best way you could do to ensure that you don't really, it's an investment. Insurance is, it's kind of like an investment for the rainy day. If anything happens, you're protected. Yeah.
so anyway, any closing
Thank you.
remarks, Vinny?
Well, I would say, hey, to play the ball. See, lots of people just leave the field. They're not even watching the field. And I see lots of people in that mode, which is okay. Hey, if you want to wait for 2 years, 3 years, and say that if the market turns and the interest rate come down, that you will start coming to the ball field, or and all that stadium. I would say that, stay, keep an eye on the ball, keep an eye, and be a batsman, because that's the only way. Play basketball or cricket in my case. You got to have the bat in your hand, so that you look at opportunities and you double down to underwrite and get, do research and get your, look for those golden diamond assets, here 4 months back, I had zero things over there in Arizona. There was nothing coming on the market. But the tired owners, and then of course the things happen, partnership dissolve, and they bring out the listings. And to have a great broker who can just be watching for you every morning at 5 o'clock to see what's out there, and giving you the good leads, and then you do research, and we have said no to so many of them, but then you hit a good one.
Love it. All right, guys. I'm hosting an event tomorrow, but you won't get this video, but you can go watch the replay if you go to businessownershipsummit.com. Thanks, Vinny. See you
And good
guys all
luck to
soon.
you, brother. 550. I love that. You're crushing it. But
Yeah.
hey, guys, we'll see you next week. Take care. Like, subscribe, and share this episode. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.